We have with us Tamannaah Bhatia, who's created a distinct identity for herself in showbiz without taking any shortcuts in her 2-decade-long journey. An absolute self-made star. Tamannaah, welcome to Forbes India.
Thank you so much.
You come from a business family, Tamannaah, far away from the world of glamour. How did you step into the acting world? Did you always want to become an actor?
You know, funnily, where we're sitting right now, I literally schooled next door.
Yes.
So across the street is my school. And I was always inclined towards acting. And I was just like any other kid who's watching television and, you know, looking at actors and being inspired and saying, "Main bhi banungi." But it seems like a far sort of dream for someone who's not from the industry or has zero connections or is just like a really young person. But for me, I think that dream was very real in the sense that around this place there's something called the Prithvi Theatre, which is the theatre that Mumbai really has and is a proper place to experience theatre. And for a year I trained there. I happened to go for, it was a workshop which led me into meeting my teacher then. And then we trained for a year. And by the time that year got over, I was already acting in my first film. So I think it's a mixture of something cosmic and also just this very strong desire of wanting to put myself out there. Also, it's funny because at that age, what do you even understand? And now when I look at myself in retrospect, I think that if I met myself, I would be like, it's a crazy child, like what's up with this kid? Why is this kid like this? But now I feel like, I guess that's how, I don't know, I guess that's how many athletes are. If you see many stories of athletes, they start off very young. Sometimes actors start off very young. Some things are like a calling of sorts.
Your first film was a Hindi film, and while you were appearing for your board exams was when you had your first South film, right? Yeah. I mean, it's an age where people are unsure about what they want to do, and you were signing films. Were you confident it was such a bold decision?
I don't know what I was thinking then, because I just knew that I wanted to perform, and I was latching on to any opportunity I got because there was no other way for me to access the industry anyway. But oddly enough, I think I was getting opportunities. Like I would audition for something and I would get the part. What was interesting though was just the fact that I was very young. Even in the rooms that I entered then, I was the youngest person. So it's only been the past 5 years or 6 years that I'm not the youngest person in the room. When I started working, everybody was at least 20-25 years older than me. So it was very interesting because I would really be treated like a kid on set. And I was enjoying it. I was being babied, so I was like great. I was having a great time.
You starred in some of the biggest hits down south in Tamil and Telugu films. When you got into that industry, language was an issue. How did you overcome that? Did you have any self-doubt?
I think language was one of the barriers, but I think the bigger aspect that was a thing that I really needed to understand was the culture. Because I, being born and brought up in Mumbai, I did not understand who am I even catering to as an actor, and to be able to play characters of people whose lives I have no idea about. I had to really delve into their lives. And if I'm representing, say I'm a I'm a girl from say rural India. If I have not really seen anything or understood of anything about their lives, there's no way I can represent them. Or you know, I mean, to channel them, I have to have some understanding. So I feel like for me, a lot of my early, at least the first 10 years of my career, just went in understanding their culture, what matters to them, what kind of people are they. What are their views and what do they like, what they don't like. I feel like just and building characters around that, like building fictitious people around that. I think that was critical for me. And we are culturally rich and we are culturally diverse. And I think I oddly was aware of that we are culturally diverse and we're not the same. There's a slight difference every like few kilometers when you go, because there's a cultural tweak that happens. So those nuances really helped me build more layered characters, I think.
But is it easier to break into the southern film industry vis-a-vis Bollywood, and what is the difference in the working styles between the two industries?
I don't think it's actually, I find that a lot more difficult to break if you don't understand commercial cinema. In the Hindi film industry, I feel like there are two kinds of actors. Ones who uh, have a slightly more artistic take on things, slightly more, I mean, how do I say this, like they're better off playing certain kind of characters. They might not necessarily fit into a glamorous song dance. Hindi film industry actually gives you the opportunity to be either or, and the ones who do both inevitably become superstars. Because that kind of fits the commercial format, because we largely as a culture are musical, and we love music. That's a very integral part of our cinema, unlike any other cinema. So I feel like Hindi actually gives you that space to be either or. So right now you see a cross section of actors who are not interested in the song dance part of it, or they don't really fit into that, or don't really excel in that either. But then when they play characters, they really shine. But when I entered the South Indian film industry, I actually understood, while people might call it many names, like they might call it like this is it's a very specific point of view, it's a very specific gaze, it's a patriarchal sort of vibe, or it's a gaze that is not very complimenting. I felt like I understood that the musical aspect of it, where India is musical, the South was it needed you to have that star quality to be able to even pull that off. So I personally feel like that cinema is as or more restrictive in that sense. So if you want to make it in like from a commercial standpoint. So yeah, this is my personal experience. I'm sure it's different for different people, but I'm talking for people who've had a long career, even within female actors who've extended for like say 10-15 years. They have inevitably fit into performance oriented roles. At the same time, they've been able to do like commercial song dance.
Bahubali was the turning point in your career. What was the impact of that film on you, and what is the kind of exposure and opportunities that you got because of that?
I think Bahubali definitely is one in a lifetime movie. Like if I can say that honestly, I don't know how often does an industry churn out something like this. I just got really lucky to be a part of it, and to be an integral part of it. And but what was my biggest takeaway was not just the unforgettable success, but the amount of technique and the amount of fine tuning that happened to me as an actor on that set. Because I think we were pushed in every way. We were pushed physically, we were pushed emotionally, we were pushed in every sort of way. Like action was something that I had to explore, which I had never done before. Or even if I had done it in a very small way, I had to really push my body. And it was also just that character didn't really have a reference, so we really didn't have any place to pick our references from. We were pretty much creating from scratch, and the bigger part was we didn't have a world behind us to reference from, because we would mostly be shooting in green mat. So we were like with a little bit of like grass somewhere, or a little bit of, so the real locations were far and few. So it's also space, right? For an actor, the space does dictate a lot of what you understand or what you're interpreting. The geography does a lot, but many a times we were in a box. So we had to still sort of imagine. So like your imagination was pushed to like the max. So I feel like Bahubali for me overall as an experience was really nourishing as an actor, because it pushed me in every direction to the extreme. And then of course the love it got was unparalleled.
You've been in the industry for 2 decades now. What has it taught you about reinvention and staying in the game? How do you stay motivated?
I think I just keep exploring things that I haven't done before in ways I haven't done before. And if I also go with something that really feels like for me right now, I miss this as an audience. I'm like, I keep asking myself questions as if I'm the consumer, as if I'm the one who's going to watch the film. And I'm like, what is the kind of cinema? Like right now, I'm going through a phase of just watching like Anees Bazmi films. Like I swear I have had this like I
You're
am
watching Welcome.
no,
and
I've
all
seen
this,
no
yeah.
problem.
No problem.
I've seen like a bunch of from Welcome, and I don't know, I've gone through a phase of because I'm just like I just wanna not think about life. I wanna be like
Chill.
yeah, I miss the times where cinema was, you know, so popcorn and it was so unserious. Because I feel like there's so much like crime and there's so much like darkness. Everything is so dark. Everyone's dying, and it's just like, I'm like, can I see something that's not going to emotionally trigger me? So I think, and that inspires me to take on work like that because I feel like right now I really want to do something that's gonna tickle a bone. You know, I really want to do. I love comedy. I enjoy comedy a lot. Not many people have seen me in that space in like in Hindi at least. The South still has like I've done a bunch of Telugu films that are really crazy and funny. But I miss just watching comedy. So now I think I also play off of instinctively what do I feel like is the need in the present environment of things. So yeah.
One of the ways you've reinvented yourself is with the dance numbers, the item numbers as they call it. You aren't a trained dancer,
No, yeah.
but you love dancing. You used to enjoy dancing solo in parties and performances and all, right? So when you decided to do these dance numbers, was that a conscious decision? Did you want to create a distinct identity for yourself with these?
I mean, I've just grown up seeing, like when I see Bebo do a song in a film, or I've seen Katrina do a song in a film. I've seen what, like you might not remember those movies, but you'll always remember like a Chamak Challo, or you'll remember, She Lagi Javani, or you'll remember whatever songs. You'll remember Kamli. You'll remember these songs that these wonderful women have done because they look like goddesses. They move like goddesses. They just are beauty personified. They're graceful, and they really celebrate themselves. So I've just seen that, but even while I was growing up, and I feel like when I go to like my own family's shadis, parties, I've seen these songs being played, and I've seen like from elderly uncles to grandmoms to kids to everybody just bawling on them, and it's just fun to see. It's a party number, it's a dance number, it's a party number. So for me, that's how I look at this as a space. I don't look at it like an item because I feel like these eventually become party songs. And the funny part is like this happens to me with me and my team many a times. We're like having a bad day and we are like, let's play Himesh Reshamya, like it makes us feel better. It really does. Like there's an entire playlist I have of him.
This creates a different mood.
I just want to go into like a zone where I'm having fun, So I feel like that fun element, that unserious element, again with music, is something that I often like kind of tip over to. So for me, when I was doing any of those songs, my goal was to. Also, for me, glamour is very innate. It's not something that I wake up wanting to feel glamorous. It's not something I'm doing just for the camera because now I'm just like, it's a part of me.
Yeah.
I can't get rid of it. So this is a great way to channel it, and I enjoy it, and I love doing it. So.
But you work insanely hard for those numbers as well, right?
Yes, they're as technical. They're as they require a sense of understanding before you approach them because they can tip over in any direction if it's not handled correctly.
You also look at them differently, right? You approach them differently.
For me, when I did Aaj Ki Raat especially, I wanted to do it like a character. So I did Shama like, even the way I moved was like Shama. I didn't try to do it like just Tamannaah doing a song. It was Shama doing a song. So I had to characterize the person who was dancing. I don't know if that makes sense, but You know how when you perform a character and you act a character, you have a characterization. So I feel even when you dance, like within dance, like there could be someone who's very tomboyish and dancing. There could be someone who's very tehzeeb and dancing. Then there could be somebody who's very comical and dancing. There could be somebody who's very bougie and dancing. So there are characters even when you dance. So you can channel different characters when you dance as well. So that's something I try to do whenever, like when I did, for example, when I did Gafoor, I really wanted. It's this. How do I say this? Is this. It's the after party. It's the girl who goes to the after party. So in my head there was this character. It's like I have already partied and like it's like post party vibes. When you don't care, your hair is it's looking terrible, it's looking all over the place, your makeup's all over the place, and you don't care anymore, and your heels are off, and you're just dancing because it's fun. And so then you do all kinds of like it's almost borderline comical, because Gafoor had like these very not sexy steps, but it had a very glamorous vibe, but the steps were not like that. So that's what I'm saying, it was like an after party character. So that's how I don't know if this makes sense, but this is my breakdown of it.
Okay. Do you see this as a business model where you earn more money for a song than probably what an actress is paid for a movie?
I mean, I didn't intend on this becoming a business model, but I just feel like it's. I think we're in the times where it's about impact and not about quantity. And you can be an actor or a performer in any sphere. It's about how much impact do you have. And I think today you get validated in proportion to the impact that you have. So for me, I always look to have maximum impact, because why not? Like, why not have a thing do reach more people? Like, my goal has always been to reach more people with whatever I do, whether today I'm making fine jewelry, or whether I'm trying to act in movies, or anything I choose in the future. I'll never decide to do something cute, small, because I'm just like, the effort is the same. I'm gonna go through a really grueling process to create something. So I'm like, why shouldn't it reach most people? So, yeah, I think the validation is in proportion to impact. Is it a business model? Not consciously, but if it does become one, I don't mind.
Great. You spoke about impact, you spoke about jewelry. We are at your jewelry store. You launched Tamannaah Fine Jewellery earlier this year. Are you consciously trying to build brand Tamannaah beyond acting?
I've always looked at things. The best way to do something well is to fall in love. And that's what happened to me. It happened to me 21 years ago with the movies. I was just smitten and I was in love. And it's been a love affair ever since then. And so that's why anything that happened in the middle, ups and downs, things that went well, things that did not go well, did not really deter me from that route. So when I started Tamannaah Fine Jewellery, I knew it was a love affair. So I knew that it's not going to, the result is only going to help me find the direction I should take it in, but never get me off of the road, I had a very specific vision for fine jewelry, and I really think India can wear fine jewelry differently than what it is doing right now, because it already has the appetite and it's ready. It's just that the retail spaces need to offer it to them in that way. I'm trying to create that system. I'm trying to create that product that I feel will add that missing piece into the equation. And yeah, because I fell in love with wanting to make this change, I feel like I think I would do whatever it takes to sort of make it happen. And of course, because I'm so lost in what I was trying to say, I've forgotten what you even asked, which happens to me often because I get so like carried away by this vision.
No, I was asking whether you are consciously building brand Tamannaah.
It's not so much about brand Tamannaah per se, but I feel like I feel like there's an aesthetic that feels like belongs to everyone, can belong to everyone, but it's something that is feeling very innate to me today. So I feel like through the fine jewelry, hopefully through building brand Tamannaah, I'll be able to lend that aesthetic to people, because I feel like essentially it's hard for people to arrive at what they want, and I want to be, out of my life experiences and out of the job that I've done, I want to be able to lend them that aesthetic, lend them that style, that fashion, whatever I've learned, whatever I've understood. So yeah, hopefully that's what this will be.
You come from a Sindhi family and money is important, obviously. You want your business to make lots of money and nothing wrong in that. What is your idea of wealth creation?
I feel like I've understood one thing. Nobody's taking any of this and going anywhere. That's been my understanding of wealth. So I just feel like I'm doing this because I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying the process of creation of wealth, of value, of identity. So for me, that process is really important. What is my idea with this wealth creation? I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, or what does anyone do with any amount of money? Because there's a marginal utility to it. Like after a point, I still can't do anything beyond a point with it, or I can, but I think the point is that I just want to do something and make it reach its ultimate goal. And I feel like if you don't do scale, it's just a disservice to the vision itself. So for me, the scale is what I care for, because I feel like I want to have that impact and that influence where I reach more people, and that gives me a lot of joy. Like when I see somebody in some other part of the country, wearing my jewelry, that gives me a lot of joy, because I feel like, hey, I reached out to someone on the other edge of the globe, and I feel like that automatically creates wealth. And I've seen that's been my journey. I've always seen that when I've done something with a vision, it has naturally translated to wealth. And yeah, hopefully I can give back. And I think giving back is not one fine day. Giving back is as you build.
Is it easier being an actor or an entrepreneur?
It's easier being an actor, if you ask me, because it's still a very being an actor is a very oriented job. Like you're only answerable to you, and you have to only deal with yourself and your own issues. But once you become an entrepreneur, it's like you're like mothership. So then you have to take care of everyone. So your responsibilities increase. You really need to know everything backward, forward, in every way, because otherwise you can't sustain it. And you have to face every fear that you have to arrive at that. So definitely entrepreneurship is a lot more difficult than being an actor.
What has this entire journey taught you over the years as an actor, as an entrepreneur? What are some of the lessons that you learned? What are some of the learnings?
I think that I feel like I don't believe in like doing anything halfway. If I take on something, then I go all the way into it. And I'm somebody who really I love hearing the word yes, because I feel like there's so much. Everyone tells you what not to do. Nobody tells you what to do. So I love approaching things with, okay, if this didn't work, what can I do for it to work? And so then I take that route. And I feel like there is this feeling that someone has answers out there for things around, you know. But I think nobody does except for you yourself. So you really have to be the hero of your own story, and you have to really support your own self. Um, and um, and I think you have to not really worry about how things happen. You have to just want something and then persist. I think if I have to really encapsulate what I have learned in this really 21-year journey is that you need to persist with whatever you choose to do, because there will be one day it will work. It will not work on us. It will not work for X amount of time, Y amount of time. But then one fine day it will. But if you don't give up, then you will naturally arrive at it on some day. Yeah, there's no other way but doing the work. Like, you have to put in the work. It's a lot of work. Anything is a lot of work. So yeah, I just stick by doing the job, and I mean, following your heart is the basic, but I think it has to be a balance between your heart and your mind. And I think one thing that I've really learned, and I wish I had, I really think it's very important to build perception, to build your own perception, to be able to perceive things as they are. Because many a times there are lots of people who are just handling their own insecurities and not really arriving at anything. So just building your own perception to see things for what they are really makes it better to be able to survive any industry or any terrain really in life.
Actors are under immense pressure. There's so much scrutiny. People are talking about burnouts. How do you handle the pressure, the attention that you get?
I mean, really not saving anyone's life out here. It's not really that hectic a job. I feel like this actors really should not take that burden. It's not really that important. And I meet people sometimes on a plane or like in some random place, and they're like, we don't watch movies. I'm like, that's fine, because honestly, not everyone does. So it's what you make out of it. Like, if you want to make your life look like it's the most hardest thing, then you can be just doing something very menial and yet feel like your life is very hard. So actors are just, if they're crying about that, then the wrong job.
Did you ever feel like giving up ever in these 2 decades?
Giving up was not, and I didn't want to not give up, because I was never really invested in how far would I get, or honestly I got a lot more than I ever imagined. Like, I did not think I would survive for this long, or I would have such a long career, and I still have a flourishing career, and I don't think I would have ever imagined all that thing or everything amazing that happened to me. So when it didn't work, or when I had a bad day, it was a bad day, and I would sulk and I would feel bad about it. But I was also like, oh, why wasn't I able to get it, you know? So then I would work towards it. My downs were more like self-anger, like, why can't I do this? But never really, I wanted to give up was not really a vibe.
You're a self-made star who's not taken any shortcuts in this long journey. Did you ever feel like an outsider in this industry, or were you ever made to feel like an outsider in this industry?
Yeah, of course. Like, I think there are many occasions where you understand the way the industry operates, where, see, it's when you're not in an upward trajectory, it's very interesting to see how people behave with you. And then those very same people, when you're on an upward trajectory, will behave differently with you. But ये तो दुनिया का दस्तूर है. It's not about the industry. It's not an industry problem. It's a world problem. In the industry, because it's the same people and it's a small industry, it just becomes apparent. It's easier for it to become apparent. So I did have moments where I was, there were, people would just be very, dismissive, and you make mental notes of that. But I don't think I ever got jaded about it. I don't think I would behave with them differently, because I feel like there has to be some difference between them and me. Yeah, so I never did anything about it, or I would just, hold a smile. And I think grace is never goes waste. It's okay for people to behave the way they want to. How you decide to conduct yourself is really, it's in your own hands. So I chose to always be like chill about it. So
There's talk about ageism, pay parity, equality, nepotism. Have things changed for actresses in the industry over the years?
when I started working, which was 20 years ago, actually female actors had like a 10-year shelf life. That's what I knew of.
Yes.
I didn't even know that one could sort of work for this long, because in the times I started, that's approximately how long a career would last. But I feel like there is this need of representing different kind of people and different worlds, and what's really helped is the different formats. So while there is cinema, there are so many other formats, and they've helped representing different people. So yeah, I feel like the age span, or the span of what an actor can go, has now become, it's like as long as you can do it.
Absolutely.
It is a visual medium, and I would be lying if I told you it doesn't matter of how you look, because it is a visual medium. So if you have to play a character who is looking a certain way, and if you don't look that way, then it's unfair for you to blame that you're not being casted there.
Correct.
You don't suit that part. Someone else is going to do that part. But as you evolve and as you become a different age, which is great, and I think, to be honest, can I tell you one thing? I think women look better as they age. Women, like you just like your face looks, I don't know, this is my opinion. I've just seen women looking so much more, like having so much more character as they age, and you're so much more sure of yourself. Like when you're in your 20s, you're actually really lost. So it's so much more interesting to see how women interpret characters. Like even after, like I'm very intrigued to see some of my colleagues, like once they have babies, like how do women behave, or how do women, because I feel like there's such a shift in your life and in how you perceive life, and it's so much more nuanced, it's so much more layered, it's so much more deeper, because if you've not had those experiences, and when you do have those experiences, there is a shift, there is a very evident shift in those female actors. And I think they're bringing in a lot more stronger performances. They're bringing more layered performances. So I feel like when I'm seeing the same actors in their 20s and when I'm seeing them in their 40s or mid 40s, honestly, I'm enjoying their performances now. So it's, we are in better times. Is it societally going to have an impact? We don't know yet. But the goal is to represent as many different age groups that there are, as many different kind of people they are, because that's what the point is, to play a character.
So what next for you, Tamannaah, as an actor? I know there's one coming up, and as a business person as well. Do you have any more ventures lined up?
For me, Tamannaah Fine Jewellery right now is definitely, it is a priority, in the sense that it is the most validating process for me, because I am, from the creation of the product to the retail experience, it's all being done under my supervision. And being the creative director has given me so much empowerment, primarily because I'm able to take my vision and make it into something solid that actually lives with somebody pretty much beyond their life.
For generations.
Then, I mean, it's a modern heirloom that I'm really offering out here. And I feel like it becomes, I understand that if I do this with sincerity, it will reach. And it is, to be honest, I've had a really phenomenal response in the first 3 months of the launch. And I'm just glad and happy that the vision that I have for Tamannaah Fine Jewellery, in terms of reaching the people that it should, it has had that connection. And I intend on, sort of nudging that a little bit more and finding more of that and offering that more to people. So definitely my goal with Tamannaah Fine Jewellery is to scale it and I will try my best to do that at the maximum possible, and hopefully see it in a global space eventually, because that's where I would want to see it. With the movies, I have a bunch of movies coming up. I think everything releases one after another. One is my next release for sure. There's Rangers after that. There's IPS Maria after that. And a bunch of more movies coming up. So I'm just excited. There's Purshan, which is my Tamil film. And there's Ragini, which I will start working on. It's a lot of stuff coming. So I'm very excited because I've just chosen different genres, different languages, completely different worlds. So I hope that I can entertain people with the movies and also be a part of their lives through Tamannaah Fine Jewellery.
Tamannaah, you've taken an unconventional route and become the self-made star that you always wanted to become. It was lovely speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Same here.
Thank you.